Coach, talk about what's going through your head right now. I guess coaches and players. Starting with you, Kori. What's going through your head right now? How's it feeling?
I think Maddie Evans just said it the best. Just feel like a feeling of numbness through our entire bodies. Like it's almost unbelievable. But I mean, all that hard work that we've put in since January, since December of last year, just everything is just all coming together now. It's just a great feeling.
Christine, talk about your team kind of coming together at the end there defensively and just all coming together and holding up one of the best offenses in the country.
I mean, Duke's a great team. They definitely, you know, had a lot of the ball, you know, especially in the first half and parts of the second. But I think as a defensive unit, I mean, I guess I can say myself now. This is actually funny coming out of my mouth. But as a defensive unit, you know, you have Kori and Whit, who's kind of stringing us all along and keeping us all together. You know, you kind of have the best of both worlds. You have Whitney Church, who's mentally one of the smartest players on our team, and Kori Chapic, who's the muscles, you know. So I mean, you got the best of both worlds, and then you know, CP's coming in off the bench, you know, if we need her, and I think it's just all coming together at the perfect time, you know. We were a bit lucky at times, but I think we were pretty organized, and Erin McNulty came up big, so all around, you know, we stuck together throughout the game.
When was the last time you played back line?
Last week, you know, part-time.
Coach, how did you feel when you competed in this game on defense?
Well, just, yeah, not a whole lot. You know, I've got so much respect for that Duke team and what they've done this season and their offense. It felt like they were all over the field. It felt like there were 15 of them at times. And Christine just said it well. We would bend at times, but we never broke. And they put us under a ton of pressure, probably more pressure than we've seen all season long, perhaps combined. Just a testament to the courage and the willingness of this team to accept the challenge. I've seen it all season long. They've gotten to the point where it's just another wrinkle, it's another challenge in their day, and they face it all the time.
They brought back, I think, 10 or 11 starters last year. You guys kind of sensed that was a team that played together a lot. How hard was it to defend them?
I mean, I think they have their strengths, and they played to them very well. You know, you have Molly Pathman up top as well as Kelly Cobb, and those are two national team players, you know, and they were on our scout, and I thought they played very well. And like she said, they gave us a wrinkle to, you know, to fix, and we were lucky at times, but I think we've been preparing for them all week, and when it's all said and done, you know, it's just who wants it more, and I think we had the heart and the drive. Maybe not the soccer game, but you know, sometimes it's not always pretty, and a win's a win.
When you stepped up to the spot, I looked like you kind of faked left a little bit before you shot. Is that your normal approach? Did you mix it up a little bit for that one?
I mean, it's pretty normal. You know, we've been working on them as a team. You know, in pressure like situations for the past 5 weeks. So you know, I think Coach has confidence in me, and as well as the rest of the team, to step up and put it away in big moments, and you know, having that, you know, I guess support behind me. You know, if I make it or miss it, I know that they want me to be the person to take that shot, and you know, they did all the hard work, and I just passed with the goal.
Only if you make it.
Yeah.
How has your past big shots, big PKs like that? How's that helped out with especially today's?
You know, it's not my favorite thing. You know, it's a lot of pressure, but you know, if my team needs me in that point, I'm glad to step up and, you know, put my team ahead. But it's like I said, it's not all about me. It's about the team. You know, if Emily Hurt doesn't get that cross in, or Maya Hayes doesn't get that little touch, then we don't get that foul. So it's a team effort, and they're the reasons why that I've gotten these PKs. And you know, I can't thank them enough. You know, it's easy to step up there and pass in the goal. It's just that put me in that spot, you know, to succeed.
Coach, talk about the confidence you have in Christine coming up there as a senior, as a veteran, been there before, a little bit bigger stage. She's been there before. Talk about that confidence you have in her taking the shot.
Well, one of the things I appreciate about both of these two players is if they're not up to the task, then they're smart enough to pass it on. And at moments, depending on how you feel in a match, moments you feel it, and other times you don't. When she's ready, she steps right up. But she's also smart enough and knows herself well enough to say, okay, here you go, Rocky, or maybe it's somebody else's turn right now, and that's when you know a player has arrived. Is they're smart enough to know when it's their turn and smart enough to know when to pass the baton to somebody else, and tonight was her night.
And what would you say was the key on defense, is slowing down Duke's attack? What were you guys doing? Just staying together?
Just volume, numbers. You know, obviously we just had a demonstration from Michigan, and they did a wonderful job against us and taught us a lesson of how to stick together and bend but not break. And I think these guys took the lesson and rolled with it. I thought in the first half our marking in the box was a little bit dicey, and in the second half they got much better. And at the end of the day, if the players aren't open, it doesn't matter how good the crosses are.
And then talk about the performance of your goalie coming up once again with some big saves throughout the match, just really stepping up. As she's been there before, a veteran. What's your confidence?
Yeah, it's gotten to the point where it's just expected, and she expects it, we expect it, and this is now her norm. So, you know, now when you talk about Erin McNulty, she's the best. And she's going to continue to win these games for us. I've got all the confidence in the world. It doesn't matter if it's a shot from distance, a cross, a PK. I've seen her handle every single situation with better than anybody else in the country.
How much was the type of game that could have been changed by having all the blustery conditions?
I'd like to think a lot. I expected a very good soccer game today, and that's not what I saw. I saw a ball in the air, I saw a ball bouncing around. I saw two teams without the ability to really connect passes, but that's soccer, and that's what you have to embrace. We talked before the game about embracing the challenge, and tonight we embraced the challenge.
How much was it throwing you ladies off, having such strong winds?
It's definitely a change. I mean, with the wind at your face, you have to be smarter. You have to play the ball on the ground. You have to be able to judge the ball, and I mean, especially for forwards, they have to be able to check to and check away. So I think that on both sides of the ball, you know, when the ball's coming in over our head and we have the wind at our back, we have to understand that that ball is going to roll back to the goalkeeper and come right back to us. So I think that as a team, we adapted well to it, and as they were saying also, it wasn't the prettiest soccer match, but I think that we really stepped up, and as a team, we defended very well.
And then Erin, what were you seeing in goal? What was Duke doing? They were coming in with a lot of numbers. What were you trying to do back there just to stave off the attack?
I mean, keep telling our defenders to get a body on them so they can't get any quality chances. I mean, they had one that went off the crossbar, but for the most part, they didn't have that many chances off crosses without us marking them. So do what we do, and we did well.
How much of a difference was it between any other team that you played, seeing offensively?
I think they were probably one of the better teams we played. I think they play a lot like Boston College, attacking from all different parts of the field, but I think that we did really well, and Christine stepping up in the back, and Kori, and all of them. I thought we did really well.
For Erin and Coach, Florida State is next. Any thoughts? Any old ties there? Thoughts going into that one?
Yeah, just familiar. It's a familiar system to both of us, familiar coaching. We think we both have a ton of respect for Mark and his staff, and we're going to see a great soccer game on Friday night. This is how I felt against Duke. Is we want to play soccer. We want to play good soccer, and we want to play as long and go as far as we can, playing the style of soccer that we can play. We want teams to respect that and do the same. And we got that. We would have had that today against Duke if the conditions hadn't been a little bit different. And we'll see that on Friday night. We'll have a great soccer game, and we're going to put our best foot forward.
And then Kori, real quick, on the crowd, what does this crowd mean to you? Obviously being at home is great, but how awesome was this crowd tonight?
It's always the biggest boost for a team, especially when we are getting balls served in over our heads and we're on our heels for a lot of it. And I think that the crowd really picks us up and gives us hope and gives us that extra drive, that extra push to just get in and put everything that we have out there. So I think that the crowd played, a huge role in this. And I mean, us as a team, we encourage each other as much as we can, but the crowd just adds that extra little